While eating dinner, the woman suddenly felt a wave of nausea from morning sickness. Her suspicious mother-in-law thought she was disgusted by the food she had prepared. Feeling hurt, she stormed out of the house, but tragically, she got into a car accident. The man completely broke down after witnessing everything. He rushed his mother to the hospital. Meanwhile, the woman had no idea what had happened. She prepared another elaborate dinner. She waited for her husband to bring her mother-in-law back so she could explain everything to her. But by midnight, they still hadn't returned. The woman could only eat the cold food by herself, feeling wrong. The next morning, her husband finally came home. The woman rushed forward to embrace him, but he coldly pushed her away. Before she could say anything, he shut her outside the door. She tried to get him to eat something, but he grabbed his luggage and left without a word. Seeing how heartless her husband had become, the woman decided to keep her pregnancy a secret for now. The next day when she woke up, she found that no one was home. She went to knock on her mother-in-law's door. No one answered. She opened the door, only to find that her husband had taken everything. She called him to ask what was going on, but no one picked up. She went to his office, only to learn that he hadn't shown up for work since yesterday. It wasn't until her brother called that she finally learned about her mother-in-law's accident. She rushed to the hospital, but by the time she arrived, her mother-in-law had already passed away despite the doctor's efforts. The woman burst into tears. Unable to accept this reality, she fainted from overwhelming grief. Her husband blamed his mother's death entirely on his wife. After the funeral, he packed his bags and prepared to leave. The woman desperately tried to make him stay, but he shoved her to the ground. He didn't care that she had cut her foot on a pair of scissors. He left without looking back. The woman could only stare at her wound in silent tears. As soon as the man got downstairs, he ran into his mother-in-law. He didn't even bother to greet her. He just drove off. The mother-in-law assumed the couple must have had a fight. Worried that her daughter was being mistreated, she hurried up to her apartment. When she saw her daughter's injured leg, she was furious. She immediately called an ambulance. That night, the woman's nausea got worse. She rushed to the bathroom to throw up. Just then, the power suddenly went out. She called her husband, hoping he would come back and stay with her, but he harshly rejected her. Helpless, she could only call her brother, asking him to take her home. The next day, when she returned home, she found strangers in her apartment. It turned out that after his mother's death, her husband had become more attached to family, so he invited his sister to move in with them. When the woman simply asked how long they would be staying, her husband lashed out at her. When it was time for dinner, the woman forced a smile and came to the table, only to find there was no seat for her. Her sister-in-law even kicked a chair aside on purpose. When her brother-in-law tried to offer his seat, he got scolded for it. The woman had no choice but to swallow her grievances. She didn't dare say a word, and her husband, watching his wife being bullied, said nothing at all. Despite being treated so unfairly, the woman still believed that as long as she treated them with sincerity, they would eventually treat her the same way.